Hello guys, this is Paula and I am back. We're going to do a little something for the Alice book, and this is one of the trifold time cards right here. I want to make sure I got you in camera. I do. Okay, now we're going to cut this to the length of the book, which is 7 this way, the tall side, and then it's like a 5 1/4 or just under 5 1/4 on the other side. And yeah, so the signatures went together nicely. We haven't put them together. I haven't done any of the stitching that goes inside the signature, but I have been working on the front all day. It's like taking me all day. I'm not finished. I think that this looks too blank, and so we're going to be filling it in with who knows what, but we're going to stick with the colors that we have here. And then I plan on trying to like pop it up, you know, on something, and we'll have to see how that comes out. I should be able to finish it sometime tomorrow. Okay, and I'll get the pages stitched that I want to stitch, and then we'll continue making things. I don't really have anything made for this particular project, but I am going to cut this on the bottom. This has already been inked, and it's been inked pretty heavy. I guess I inked it a while back to use it and hadn't got it done. So you can get these over at Denise's at A Tattered Dream, and along with a lot of other goodies that she has. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 7. If we decide we need it a little bit shorter, we can always cut it a little bit shorter. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to move, the cutter to the side. We shouldn't need the long arm here. And I'm going to pull some of this stuff. I just grabbed stuff out of my scrap bin, and don't even know. I just thought we could collage this and make it look kind of interesting. You know, that's always fun. Okay, so I don't have any big plan. When we're done, I do want to stamp. This is a teeny tiny little stamp. So small that I can't even really read it, but I did ask the lady at the garage sale, is this Christmas? And she said no. So I think it's about loans and papers and all that kind of stuff. All right, so this is a trifold, and like I said, and we're going to start on the front. We may not get this completely done, and if we only get halfway through, we'll do another video and get halfway through it. I thought, for starters, this is an old vintage paper that was in a raggedy old cover, and I thought, you know, I like the way this looks, but do we want this on the front or do we want it on the inside? But then I went on the inside, and we have a lot of journaling space. So let's cover up the front, but we're going to tear it, and I have no idea how I'm going to tear it, what I'm going to do with it. I just wanted this paper on the front somewhere. Now we may not get it all on here, but we'll see what we can do. We could have decoupaged on here, which would have been fun too. And we may still do some, but let's put some of the stripe on here. I like this corner piece, and we're not going to ink anything until we're done. So this will fit right up in this corner nicely, and why not put it up there, you know? And then I got to get the lid off my glue, which is a new bottle. Hopefully it will cooperate. I'm not going to put a whole lot because we may end up putting matte medium over the whole front. I don't know that for sure, but I don't want to go glue crazy until we know what we're doing here. So I'm turning this sideways a little bit, and just kind of sliding it into place. That's what I like about Fabri-Tac. It gives you a few minutes to do whatever you need to do. And I'm wanting to make sure it's right in that corner because I like that. I don't know what that is. TRMKREGUSPAT off. Who knows? It never said on the book what it was. Okay, so, and I am going to add a little bit more. Let's add some with this little bit right here. And it has some writing here. It says Pennsylvania, made in the USA. So, you know, that gives it a little bit of character, I guess. As much as we can. All right. So I don't know if you guys got to watch my last video that I loaded in the middle of the night or in the morning. Because we did go to some shops and some vintage shops, antique shops, and there was a couple places that had, you know, estate things. But, you know, like always, the good estate stuff, all the good sewing stuff was gone. I didn't find anything as far as sewing goes. Okay, so I've got the glue coming off there. So I just did all kinds of ledgers and just fun stuff, you know, like look at this paper's fun. It's got all these different stamps on it. So we want to get in here to this. And it doesn't take much to get it to tear. So let's just see if we can tear it down smaller. Now we may have to ink around some of this torn stuff because it, you know, is kind of, it's got that white edge. Okay. I've been wanting to do one of these with you guys. I know everybody has done them. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have done these, and I haven't. And so I thought, this would be a good time to do it. So, I like this postage looking thing here, but I think I want to save it to put over something, you know, maybe like this. So I'm going to have it right here ready. And then we can lay it down wherever we'd like. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this one down here. I'm trying to save on a lot of cutting. Can you tell? Just like it is. Gotta save on some cutting. Let's move that out of the way. I like all the different things that just kind of end up on the side of the paper or whatever. And, oh, whoops, that just went off. So this is another one. I think we are going to need to ink as we go. This white looks pretty stark, but we'll take care of it. We'll just go over it a little bit. And then whenever we're done, we'll go around the edges. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I want to put this on here because I like the way it has the copy. The printer holes here on the side. I think that looks fun. I'm going to slide it up in here. And we're just, you know, doing my normal thing. You know how I love to collage. And I've been doing it for so long. I hope you guys don't get bored with it. Oops, this little end right here has no glue. So we better glue that down. And then, of course, this little corner. I thought after we collaged on these and stamped on them a little bit that we could decorate some of them if we have time. And if not, like I said, we'll come back and do our own thing. We can take our sweet time. Okay, now I'm trying to put, like I said, different things on here, and I like this. I know it's pink and bright, but it says today's date. Whoops, I just ripped it off. I know there's another one in here because I saw it somewhere. And we'll get to it. When we get to it, we'll do something with it. Okay. We've got this stripe that looks fun. But let's tear down it some too. We don't want it to look perfect. Okay. Now this is flat on one side also, I just noticed. We still have some flat areas. So, let me make sure you guys are being able to see if I'm holding it in the right spot. Yeah, just making sure. Okay. Let's put it right down here. I hope you guys can see okay. I always feel like it's so dark. I know I say that every video. I'm sorry. It just bugs me. You guys know how that is, right? Okay, so let's pull out this little part right here that says notes. That looks fun. We could put that right in the middle. I like the way that looks. But then we were going to put the stamp up here. So maybe we'll bring it down here a little bit. Let's ink it because it's super white. I kind of just want to collage this thing and then see what we have after we're done and then decide what we want to add. You know, I never make a plan. The only plan I made for this was that I, you know, wanted us to do something for the Alice book. Let's make sure that's straight. Appears to be. And another thing that would be fun, this one has, well, it says classroom, but it also says checklist and name. So let's see if we can tear this without tearing into where it says checklist. Well, we did pretty good. Come on. So they had about 6 shops in this little town called Collinsville. And there was one, you guys, oh my gosh, I think these people were older. They were in their late 70s, probably mid to late 70s at least. And we go into this place and they have all this stuff setting outside front and it just looks super cool. And it just drew you in. I was so excited. And then we walked in. And if you have allergies, it's not the place to be. I stayed a while. I did stay a little bit because I just couldn't believe it. But they had stuff. They had all these booths. Like once upon a time, it was a like an antique mall or something, you know, where people come in and, you know, take their, put their little stuff wherever. Anyway, they rent and then the place would take care of the payments and all that stuff. Well, anyway, just like they do now in some different areas. Well, I could not believe it. I have seen some really bad ones before, but this is the worst one I had seen. Where you go in and they've just piled stuff and piled stuff and piled stuff. And everything's in the corner. And then there was a little path and now the little path is gone with four bicycles. I mean, all the doilies and all the fabric stuff you know, handkerchiefs, all that kind of stuff was in that booth. It was just piled and piled and piled and piled. And all you could do was walk to the front and stand and look over everything. You couldn't, you know, the old man couldn't even got it out if he wanted to. You could tell that stuff has been there forever. Spider webs everywhere. And I did find one book in there, and what else did I find? Oh, one handkerchief. And I was like, I couldn't handle it. You know how it smells when it's really dusty? I mean, like over the top dusty. And my sister-in-law and I were like coughing and gagging and blowing, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. I can't do this. You know, I'd love to be able to, but I can't do this. And because, you know, it looked like kind of like a hoarder's antique mall, you know. It's like, and they were not, when you got to the register, it was like, it reminded me of like Ma and Pa Kettle or something. No social skills, you know. And so we're there thinking, okay, maybe they'll say, where are you from? Or whatever, you know. They just wanted your money and wanted you to get out, you know. Their prices, you know, were pretty average. You could tell they had been doing it for years. But it wasn't just that one booth. It was every booth. There probably was 25 or more booths. And every booth was full of stuff. But they had things in there you'd probably never see anywhere else, because of the whole having it forever part of the story. But yeah, it was insane. See, I kind of like that right there. What do you think? Let's pull some of it off right here. Maybe not that much. But anyway, we had fun. We just took our time because my brother is, he's on a cane, and it, you know, we had to go slow for him, and that was fine because I need for him to go slow for me, really. I have a lot going on with my foot, so to even be out there, and my ankle. But you're not stopping me. I got to be able to make my books, guys, and I found some really cool stuff. I know that you saw some of it on the last video. I probably didn't bring everything out, but I did get some good buys and some super nice people, except for the old folks. But I just think, you know, they're probably very tired. Okay, so I want to see if there's anything else that has writing on it that is usable, because I like that. Checklist, name, notes. I wish we had something that said journals. Here's one that says info. Let's see though. Let's keep looking and see what else we've got. And we definitely want to put some music sheet on there. I just grabbed all this up out of my scrap bin. Well, I guess that's all of the words. Let's just use this one word. Whoops, if I don't tear through it. And then we won't worry about putting any more words on it. I just like the way it looks. After doing it, it just kind of looks fun. Okay. Don't even know where I'm going to put this. Let's just put it right here in the middle. Making sure it's straight. There you go. Man, today I cut my finger. I was cutting some, oh, what was it? Oh, a doily. I was cutting one of the doilies I got yesterday into little flowers. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want it to glare. But it was just a small little doily, and I gave like $1.25 for it. And I just thought, you know, I'm going to cut these in to little section ones. We might even put one on here somewhere. You never know. But anyway, because you can really get a lot of cool vintagey looking laces, you know, crocheted things, especially flowers. If they crocheted a lot of flowers together, it really looks cool. Now, I don't want to put that over my checklist, so just want to make sure my music notes are up in the right direction. So my daughter told me the other day, this is going to be cute. You guys are going to think this is adorable. At least I did. But I'm his grandma. Charlie is going to be, he's been into singing big time, and he'll get up and sing for you. And he's bashful if it's anybody but his mom and dad and sister, even though he has done things in front of us a million times. But he was singing Annie songs, and he said he was singing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. And at the end, he does that whole, you know, thing with the arm, you know. He'll hold that last note and bring his arm up like he's a performer. But my granddaughter goes to a theater company that's through one of the places that brings our Broadway shows, or our off-Broadway shows, I should say. And there we go. That's looking good now. So anyway, my daughter's going to they're doing Wizard of Oz this year. And so my daughter's going to let him audition for one of the little munchkins. You know, the fact that he is a munchkin, and his little, you know, he's on steroids, bless his heart. We hope we can get him off. Just, that's what I pray for, is just to get him off the steroids. But anyway, so some of this we won't cover, obviously, but then we might. We never know. So he's going to try, she's going to let him try out for Wizard of Oz. And he'll be so adorable. You know that those ladies will just, whoever's auditioning will melt. If he doesn't get up there and get stage fright, you know, and not sing it like he needs to, that would be the only thing. Okay, do I want to put that there or over here in this corner? I think I want to put it right here. Anyway, so can you just see him? And he comes in and he's telling me all about it. You know, this would be the first time he's ever done anything. But she is going to go ahead either way and put him in some of their classes, I think. So whenever she takes the sister, she can just take him. Unless they have different times. I don't know. I know they're different age groups. Of course, I can't imagine him not getting scared when it comes to the witch. He likes to play zombies, but boy, if you get up and you become the zombie, it scares him good. Okay, so we're going to come back to this. I'm trying to think. We've got to do something right here. Maybe we'll do some more music. Let's do some more music. We'll just pull this off right down here. Of course, everything is sticking to me by now. So when we get on the inside, we won't do as much collaging. You know, we'll do random collaging because this had more to cover up, you know, that I wanted to cover up, like the whole time card thing. And so the other side has more lines. Oh, that's leaking. Liquid glue. Let me see if we have anything else that's really big with glue on it, because it's easier to get it off when it's just dried for a few minutes. You know, if it's wet, it just pretty much smears. Let me see if I can get that under there. That little bit of glue on my fingers. I'm going to get my little eraser, because we do have some places, you know. Just trying to think what we could brush over some of this and make it look, I don't know, like it's always been there. That's fun to do. I guess we could just go over it with some watered down ink. Maybe throw some splatters on there. Not consistent splatters, but kind of like you would do if you were inking paper. And I do have some ink in there that I've been using to stain paper. Okay, let me make sure we got the biggest parts. There was a few that was pretty big, because I wasn't being super careful. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. If you have corners sticking up, you might just want to stick a little glue on them and push them down. Okay. Now I'm going to hold this up and let you guys get a closer look before we go on to the next page. It's just nice and collaged, and you know, we could even stitch around it once it completely dries and we're completely done with whatever we're going to decorate. Oh, we forgot to put this on. Let's put this on first. We may not if we get on here and it just looks too big and bulky, because that is a pretty big stamp. Let's see. Let me go back and look at it and see if there's any smaller ones. Nope, they're all pretty big. So, something else we could do. I have a stamp like this, and I also have some stamps. They're right here in my constant box is what I call it. Constantly have it ready. And let me think for 1 second. There's my box. Let me get my stamp. Yeah, I think it'll look better with a smaller one, because that's pretty big. And this one isn't anything fancy, but it's better than the small one, right? Let me see if I have a little ink pad here. I didn't really prepare for stamping, which is what else is... You know what? I think I'd rather do it in brown than I would in black. So let's do it in with the archival coffee. Rick got me two containers full of archivals. Well, he actually got me 4 packs, and it filled the other one, and then there's a few spaces left. I got room for another pack. So I got pack 1 through 4. So now I got to collect the next 2 packs, I think is what it is. All right, so we don't know how this is going to turn out, really. And so keep your fingers crossed. The thing I like about these little stamps, and the reason I wanted them in the first place, was because I'm trying to think where I want it that maybe it won't get all, you know, the cracks won't mess up the stamping. We don't have any way to control that, though. I've wanted them for some time. I have the distressed ink ones. That, yay, there it goes. That looks good. Okay, now I want to use my new little stamp right here. And again, I don't know what it actually says. I know it's not anything negative, because I know the lady I bought it from in the garage sale. I spent about $20 or $22, I think, on just little things that I could use while scrapbooking. And while doing books, I guess I should say. I just thought this little stamp was nice because you could just leave it on your desk and, you know, just grab it off and stamp it. Let's see which side do we want to use and what's up and what's down. Okay, so let's see. I hope you guys can see okay. And another nice thing about these little ones like this is you don't even have to put them on a, if they're on a heavier background, you don't even have to put them on block. Okay, so let's see. I want to put it, you know, where it kind of see a big portion of it before I start just hitting spots with it. And I may not even hit spots with it. I may just do it pretty. Oh, I like that. But it is pretty in the spot kind of thing. So we'll try to do it a little. We'll roll it a little and see what we come up with. I'm always afraid it will end up looking cruddy. But see, you can just stick it on, and that one squared up, didn't it? Cute. One more right here, and we'll be done with that. I don't know about you guys, but I like the way that turned out. Let me set these over here to get out of the way for a minute. Okay. So now I'll show it to you. The only thing with color is this little bit right here, tiny bit right there, and the name, where it says name. So this is the front. And so now let's move to the inside. Okay. Now we're going to do this side right here, or we could do this side. Well, I really feel like they all kind of go together, you know. So I thought somewhere we could put a bag, and I want to do like tippins or flaps that go off of this, you know. Let me move this to the side a little bit. Well, I was going to put a stamp on there. Let's flip it back over. I wanted to put a stamp on here somewhere. These stamps are old. I found a big haul on old stamps. That one had the Vatican on it. Let's see. Boy, that's an old dude. Look at that. That'll be cool on there. So I think we'll put that one on. But where? But where? I think I'm going to put it kind of right in the middle. Not because I'm trying to center it, but because that's a good spot. And if I can cover up some of the... this stamp has already been used too. It's got some of the postal stuff on it. Here, how about we do right here? Let's get him on here straight. And then he'll cover up that straight line a little bit. He looks cool. See that? That just is just what it needed. Okay, now let's get over to the next page, and we need to look at the overview of the page and kind of tell, you know, what we want to do in here. It's a good question, isn't it? So I think we could do like a belly band. We could see what we have left as far as scraps go, and go from there. Now I want to save the Alice in Wonderland embellishments for the book itself. And I have my reasons for that, but pretty much we're going to save most of that. Okay. And got that. Here's some pages. Now, I used 3 colors of cardstock paper in the book. And this is the 3 I chose. These are Paige Evans from Pink Paisley. Fancy Free is the name of the pad that she made. Okay, so we could do, in the center, we could do like a belly band, but not that wide, obviously. What could we put on here? I don't want it to be super fancy, frilly. You know what I mean? You can tell by the front that that wasn't part of the plan as far as my brain was going. I thought it would look better, the more simple, but yet we want it to have some decoration on it. I'm going to cut this down to about 1.25 inches maybe. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to have this to the side, so might be hard to see. It's just easier to do it this way. Let's see if this is too wide. Still is a little wide because we're not looking at this whole thing. We're looking at this one section. And so we're going to do it 1 inch. And we're going to ink it up and go from there. Yeah, that'll be fun. Now let's ink it real quick. And we need to decide, do we want to put some kind of lace on here? Nothing frilly. So, you know, there are kinds of laces that aren't frilly. Over the top, you know. And I need to look into Ooh La La's and see if she has anything. Let me grab it. Excuse me, I'm trying not to knock things over. I keep all her stuff in this little stackable so I can separate the Ziploc bags from the other things. Just the regular laces. Now we have some purple. We don't want that. Now this kind of stuff, these kind of texts, we don't have any green, but we do have this music that also would look good since we're collaging with music. Let me keep going here. I'm still looking. Christy was so generous. If you haven't been to Christy's shop, go over and pay her a visit and place you an order. You won't regret it. We need to support as many people as we can. Let's see, that's seam binding. Let me look down here and see what else I got. I think I'm sewed on the, this is too frilly down here. I'm sewed on the music sheet or the text. So let's see what we can do here. I like that this is more of a brown, but really this is, ooh, that grabbed my little cut on my finger. This is more of a gray. So maybe if we cover up some of that, it'll go along with the black and the... I'll put Christy's link at the bottom of this video so you guys can go check it out. Oh my goodness. She ink stains it. She tears it into certain sizes. I believe this is 3/4 inch. Yes, it's 3/4 inch and it's stunning. So, I like the music theme and the that we added some music sheet to the front, so we might as well add some music sheet to this. Yeah, where's my scissors? Okay. There we go. We will keep this to the side here in case we decide we want to use it on something else. Okay, now I think I'm going to wrap it here at the edge. Well, no, I really like that frayed look. But I don't like this one so much. Let's see how this looks now. I want to make sure I get it as far up with music as possible. So right there. So what I'm going to do is put 2 little streaks of glue, or one right down the middle. That's, kind of wide enough that it okay, let's move this off to the side while we lay the music on here. Okay, come on, cooperate. There we go. Fun. Thank you, Christy, for sharing this cool fabric that seems to work out with anything you're working on. It just, it's a great idea to take fabric and make it into ribbon. I almost lost my Tim Holtz box I keep sitting next to me. I do that so that, you can always pretty much count on Tim Holtz to have something that you could use. Let me get a wipey. This glue really burns the tip of my finger. Okay, so we're going to put this on as a belly band in the very middle, or should we put it on the side? Which would be the easiest to slip something in and out? Now, if we have stuff on these sides, when we go to slip it in here, it might not be as easy. Do we want to put it over here? Let's put it on this end, and I tell you why. Because it'll be easy on the outside, but if we do any flip outs, we'd probably do them over here. Okay, I wouldn't want to do them on the front. So let's glue this down and make it a home for definite. Now you want to put enough glue up here at the top that you can count on this staying onto your trifold. Okay. I usually line one up before I do the other. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. It's real easy to get distracted with what you're doing and get off camera. I sure try not to, but never know. Okay. That's good. Oh, it's burning my finger. Okay. Now, what do we want to put in there? I'm going to come up with something fun that we can put in there, because we'll probably have to do 2 videos. We haven't gotten very far yet, and we're already at 43 minutes. This is just a time-consuming thing, and a lot of the people I've seen do this have had to do more than 1 video to get it complete. And so, let's see what I've got here in my Tim Holtz goodies. I love these manila packages by 7 Gypsies. You get all kinds of goodies in here. I love them. Keep that right there. I want to use that little part in here. And see, I like all these brown colors in here as well. These big pieces, we're not gonna even look at those. But let's look at these and see what we've got. Oh, these tickets are fun. Look at that black and white one. I like this one. So we'll hang on to the ticket. And we only want to use one of the tickets. Oh, look at the one that says notes. Now, I like it even better. It has a little touch of red, and I love the polka dots. So let's use it instead, since we wrote notes and info and so forth on the front. And here's some blank ones that they included. Oh, no, they're not. They have a design on the opposite side. No, there's a couple blank ones. Here's some blank cards. Oh, what is this? It looks like a king. These are just some, that's a map of Europe. This is also a map of Europe. Oh, I like the old French. It's a French key. I like that too, and it's made into a tag. Look at this old car. You cannot buy a better car. Armstrong. Okay, let's see what else we've got. General instructions. And then it has a tab here that tears off. Well, look at my little, they have my little, oh, these would be cute in when I do my cooking book. And they've even cut some extra ones. This is just like the ones I've got. Are real close. They are slightly shaped different, but I mean, there's not that many ways you could do it, I guess. I had just seen some and I wanted to do it, and I just cut them. So just some extra folders. Here's a stamp which goes along with the stamp on the front. None of that really matters though. Aren't these cool? I'm going to lay this one out and this one out in case we want to use those. And here's some more of those. Some more of the tags. Okay, so this has a lot of tags. Oh, my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Look at this. Now, I don't have these shapes. I may have to make me a template off of these. Look how cute, guys. Those are going to be made into a template. They're going to be set aside. And we may use some. We'll see. Okay, so that's good out of this package. But I mean, I've got all kinds of packages. I buy these at Tuesday Morning. And sometimes I can get them for like $1.99. Now, these were $4.99 because they're 50 pieces. But I have bought them a lot cheaper before. Here's one that was $6.99. You know how it is over at Tuesday Morning. It just depends on what you're going after and what time you're in there, you know, if they've already marked them down and or put them in clearance or whatever. So I'm going to pull out the big stuff here, or the little stuff here, see what we've got inside this one. Okay, that is just, I don't know what that is. Photography of some sort. Advertisement. Olive oil and English fig soap. Oh, I've seen these before. I've used them several times. Look at this little Grand Cruise Deluxe Mediterranean. And here's some camels down here. So, okay, let's see. Iced tea, which sounds really good. Here's one with music notes. We could set that aside and decide if we want to use that. Some of these are a little fancier than we might want to use. Here's one that says date and time, enjoy. I'm going to put that with our stack. Here's one with a shield on it. I thought we'd go through these now and we can kind of think. We are planted, a gift. That one's cute. We'll take that. This is a banking note. It looks like a check, a miniature check. Here's some little floral ones. That's cute. Just a little something I whipped up for you. I like that. We're going to stick that over there. I'm not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me. Yay, I love that. Okay, and just, you know, a few other little, I like this little card. It says postcard, thank you. We'll stick it over here too for now. Now we're just narrowing it down. We may decide that, you know, we don't want any of these, but probably we'll use some. These keep me going when I buy these little mixed media ones. It really helps. I don't know if you've ever done it, bought any of them before. Here's another one that I like to buy whenever they have it. It's by Seven Gypsies also, but it's not the mixed media one. It just says Vintage Market on it, and I paid $2.99 for that pack. I feel like that's really a good idea to buy them when they're that cheap. Okay, now let's see what's inside here real quick. I bet they're going to be real similar. And probably at the start of our next video, we'll add some flip outs on this. And I just thought we would go through this and look real fast. Kind of get a few things laid out. I mean, you can only put so much on here, you know. And some of these are cool. That's the Leaning Tower, it looks like. Look at that little taxi. And they do use a lot of travel stuff in these as well. And a lot of map type things. Now there's some Christmas stuff in here too, which I didn't expect. I'm going to set it to the side. Because I keep all my Christmas stuff totally separate. If I don't, you know, it makes it kind of rough. Those feathers are cool. No, that's not Chevrolet. I can't make out what that is. Something third party. This old ship is cool. Here's some more of the Beautiful Me. Some tea. Here's a Halloween. That's fun. And then a black tag. And I like, they just throw in tags, you know, too, which, you know, this looks like it would go with Christmas. Let's put it over there. A lot of these are repeats of what was in some of the other ones. This says Comfort and Joy, so we know that's Christmas, right? Look at these big tags. Wow. Here's a big square one or rectangle. Look at that. Giant. I don't know. Oh, that's Under the Ocean. Cute. I bet that's Christmas too right there. And then they have this brown one, craft one, and then they have this big black one. It would be fun if these were a little bit more narrow, because then we could, like even this one, we could do them to fold out, especially the taller ones. Let me see what this other one was. Oh, it was Ocean. I don't want to use it on that, but this one, if it was a little bit taller, I could probably make one. We'll use this as a template, and we'll make one to fit out of that one, and we'll flip out a tag instead of flipping out just a cardboard piece there. And then we'll flip down on either the center or the right side as well, but probably out of the center. You could flip up. You can flip up this way on both of them and flip out as well. It's just your choice of how you want to do it. Okay, so we've looked at these. We know what we've got here. That's so weird how that fit in there whenever this big tag fit in here to start with. I'll just leave it right there. It doesn't want to fit back in there. Okay, one more. Let's see what we have in one more of these. I say that as I lay out two. They have all kinds. I will see them and grab them, and sometimes I end up with the same ones. But that's okay, because I use them. I have a tendency to grab them up. Now this one looks like it's more like buttons and birds and stuff like that. This one I looked at, it's a lot of travel stuff and shipping. So we won't look at it right now. Let's look at this one and see what's in it, and then we're going to have to close our video, and we'll pick back up tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have some of the sewing done. Ooh, I love this ruler. How cool is that? But what would you do with it? You could mix it into a collage. Look at that. Liking that. Okay, we'll put it to the side. Whether we use it or not's another thing. Oh, it has some of these copy-like of the old. We'll put that one to the side. There's a typewriter. These are cute too. Florals. Just all kinds of little. I was able to get some really cool old loan applications and deeds and stuff like that from, oh, I like these butterflies. We're going to put them to the side too. Moth, butterfly, it's hard to tell sometimes. Okay. Here's a little calendar. Looks like I cut something out of that once upon a time. And out of that one, I cut a letter out. I like these that have these old photographs too. Okay. These buttons are neat. Little stamps. Tim uses a lot of his same things in other kits, I've noticed. But I guess you'd have to build a kit the right size. Okay. Yeah, so, and we can always pull these back out if we don't have enough laid out. But I think we're going to, because we can only put so much in here. Let's see what this little round one is. Pharmacies. Let's stick that in there. I don't know what it means about pharmacies, but you never know. All right, guys. I'm going to get off of here, and we will come back together in our next video to finish working on this. And I might even have some of the... See, I'm going to have to darken this with something. I just don't know yet what it will be. But I really like the way... And then we got our belly band made here. I really like the way it turned out. I hope you guys do. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you could subscribe. And if you enjoyed this particular video, please give me a thumbs up. I enjoyed spending time with you guys, and I will see you in part 2. All right, guys. Bye-bye.